The fog howled. The bell tolled again, and the choice was made. The ribbons struck. They lashed around your chest, your arms, your throat. They pulled tight, searing into your flesh, threading themselves beneath your skin. Your body arched, mouth opening in a scream, but no sound left you, only light, bursting silver, spilling into the fog. Your companion lunged, gripping your shoulder, shouting words you couldn't hear. Their stone flared suddenly, just once, bright as a star, before shattering in their hand. The reader's lantern blazed, silver fire streaming outward, fighting the storm of ribbons. His face was grim, jaw set, eyes fixed on you. Hold. Endure, the figure stepped forward at last, shadow merging with the fog, their voice louder than the chaos. This is the binding the tower has waited for. Let it take you. Let it carry. The ribbons tightened. The bell tolled again. The field collapsed. You fell into black. Not fog, not water, not stone. Nothing. Your body twisted, weightless, bound in threads of silver. They glowed around you, pulsing, alive, dragging you downward. Voices surged with them, hundreds, thousands, every broken promise and forgotten vow carried in their chorus. You left. You promised. You broke. You carried. The bell tolled once more. The silver threads dragged you deeper. And the dark swallowed you whole. Silver threads wrapped your body, crossing your chest, binding your throat, searing into your arms until you were a web of light suspended in black. The knots pulsed in rhythm with the bell, every throb a hammer against your ribs. There was no floor, no sky, only endless dark, and voices, hundreds, thousands. They rose all around you, folding together into a tide of whispers, each one sharp, each one heavy. You left me, you promised, you never came back. You will carry me. The threads pulled tighter, glowing brighter, dragging you downward. The bell tolled. Its sound did not echo here. It filled everything, saturating the void until it vibrated through your bones, shaking the light inside you. The threads flared white and the voices screamed louder. Shapes stirred in the dark. At first they were faint smudges of pale light drifting through black. Then faces sharpened, hollow, empty-eyed. They hung suspended around you, mouths open, whispers spilling from their throats like water. One pressed close. Its features were blurred, but its voice was sharp. You said you would return before the plate broke. Another drifted nearer. Its eyes glowed faint silver, mouth trembling. You said you would keep me safe. Another. You said you would sit. But you never did. Another. You said you would bring the light. They circled you, hundreds of faces, each one a fragment of what you left. Their whispers blended until the void itself roared with their chorus. You left. You left. You left. The ribbon at your wrist seared, white-hot, the knots blazing, veins of silver spreading across your body. I know, you gasped, the words tearing from your throat. I know I left. The voices paused. For the first time, silence touched the void. The bell tolled again, and the silence broke. The faces leaned closer, mouths opening wide. From each throat came not whispers now, but demands. Why? 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 The void thundered with the question. The threads tightened, binding your chest until you could barely breathe. Your heart pounded, hammering against the knots, each beat an answer you had no words for. Your companion's voice reached faintly, impossibly from far above. Don't let it take all of you, hold on. The reader's voice followed, distant, sharp, steady. Speak what you can, nothing more. The figure's voice carried last, low and certain. They cannot hide now. The tower strips all masks. The bell tolled again, the void screamed, and every face demanded at once, why did you leave? You tried to answer, but the dark stole your words. Your throat was dry, your chest crushed by the ribbons. Light spilled from your mouth instead, thin, silver, trembling. It drifted into the void, threads unraveling into the black. The faces opened wider, hungry for it. More. The ribbons burned brighter, pulling harder, forcing more light from your chest, your mouth, your eyes. I can't, you choked, the void laughed. 1,000 voices layered endless. You will, the bell tolled. The thread snapped downward and the void swallowed you whole. You fell, not fast, not slow. Weightless, suspended in black, bound in silver threads that dragged you downward. The void had no bottom, no edge, only faces. They drifted past like pale moons, hollow-eyed, mouths trembling with whispers. Each one turned toward you as you passed, each one speaking words you had once heard, once said, once broken. You promised to stand. You promised to stay. You promised to return. Their voices overlapped until the words blurred into a single sound. Promised, promised, promised. The ribbons seared. The knots blazed. Silver light spilled from your chest, your mouth, your eyes, unraveling into threads that the faces drank hungrily. The bell tolled. The sound vibrated through the void, shaking every face, rattling every whisper into silence for one fragile breath. Then the visions began. The first, you stood in a kitchen, dim light spilling across a wooden table. Bread cooled on a plate, steam rising from its crackling crust. Across the table, a chair sat empty. A shadow lingered in the corner, waiting. You said you'd be back before it cooled, the shadow whispered. The bread hardened before your eyes, crust turning to stone, steam vanishing into cold air. The plate cracked. The vision shattered. You fell again. The second, a narrow hall, walls lined with jars. Each rattled faintly, lids trembling as whispers bled from within. One jar shook harder than the rest, glowing pale through cloudy glass. You said you'd keep me safe, the jar hissed. The lid flew free. Water spilled across the floor, spreading, rising, drowning your shoes. Ribbons floated to the surface, writhing, glowing faint silver. The vision split. You fell again. The third, a room of chairs, hundreds. Rows upon rows, each occupied, hollow-eyed watchers sitting in silence. Their hands lifted, palms open. Tell us why, they said in unison. The bell tolled. Their voices cracked into screams. Why, you stumbled backward. The chair scraped forward, legs screaming against stone, every face leaning closer. The vision shattered. You fell again. The fourth, a well, not the one from the square, deeper, darker, its stones wet, rope frayed. From its mouth rose your own voice, younger, weaker. I'll come back, I promise. Silence. Then the well whispered back, hollow and endless. You didn't, the rope snapped. The bucket fell into black, and you fell with it. The void returned. Faces circled. Ribbons writhed. The whispers swelled again. You left. You promised. You broke. You will carry. The bell tolled. The threads yanked downward, pulling you faster now, deeper, into a dark so thick it pressed against your chest. The visions dissolved. The faces melted. Only the hum of the bell remained, vibrating through your bones. You gasped, your ribbon blazing white-hot, searing through your veins until your body was nothing but light. And then stone, cold beneath your hands, solid beneath your knees. The chamber returned. The bell loomed above, silent now, runes glowing faint silver. The rope swayed gently, brushing the floor. The watchers stared, every head lifted, every hollow eye burned white. Their mouths opened wide, and in perfect unison they whispered the single word, changed. The field of broken things whispered still. The plate cracked wider. The jar seeped water into black soil. The chair creaked under a weight that wasn't there. The lantern flickered with a flame that should not burn. The ribbons writhed across the dirt, pulsing, twisting, binding themselves into knots that glowed faint silver. Your wrists seared. The knots in your ribbon blazed, threads crawling across your skin like veins of fire. The weight pressed harder against your chest until each breath felt stolen. The fog curled low, whispering in unison. Carry, 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 the bell tolled. The field shuddered, soil splitting into fissures that glowed pale from within. The cracks widened, swallowing shards of porcelain, splinters of wood, coils of ribbon. The earth convulsed, heaving upward, broken things sliding down into the dark. Your companions stumbled, clutching their empty stone, eyes wide with terror. It's collapsing. The reader lifted his lantern, silver flame burning tall. His voice was sharp, steady. The field never lasts, it is only a passage. Hold fast. The figure stood calm, their shadow stretching long across the soil. Their voice was certain. What is buried is never gone. The tower always keeps. The bell tolled again. The soil split wide beneath your feet, and you fell, not into black, not into void, into stairs, a spiral endless winding downward instead of up. Stones slick with moisture, walls close, dripping. The fog pressed against your back, urging you down, down, down. The bell tolled. The sound rolled through the stairwell, rattling stone, shaking water loose from the ceiling. Each drop hissed faintly as it struck your ribbon, steam rising from your skin. Your wrist burned. The knots pulsed. Your companion's voice echoed faintly ragged. Where does it go? The reader's lantern swayed, silver flame steady even here. Beneath, always beneath. The figure's voice was low. To where the bell was born, the fog hissed in chorus. Descend, and the stairs wound downward endless. The first landing came. A door weighted, stone and iron, its surface slick with moss. No handle, no lock. Only a single mark etched into its center, a circle broken by a single crack. Your ribbon pulsed violently. The bell tolled again, and the mark glowed faint silver. The stair wound downward, stone slick with moss, walls dripping. Fog pressed against your back with each step, urging, whispering, endless. Your ribbon seared faintly with every toll of the bell above, the knots burning, threads crawling further into your chest. The first landing waited. The door of stone and iron stood still. Its mark, a circle cracked down the center, glowed faint silver in the lantern's light. When the reader raised his flame, the glow pulsed once, then dimmed. The door did not open. The bell tolled. The mark hissed. The crack widened faintly. Then silence. Your companions shook their head, clutching their empty stone. It's sealed. The reader's face was heavy, grim. No, not sealed. Waiting. The figure's shadow leaned against the wall, their voice certain. It will open when the wait is right. The fog whispered with them, curling in ribbons around your ankles. Wait, wait. You turned away. The stair wound deeper. The second landing came. This door was wood, swollen dark with damp, warped across its frame. Its mark was not carved but painted, a handprint, black and streaked as though burned into the grain. Your ribbon pulsed, not blazing, threads searing hot along your arm. Heat rose from the door, the wood steaming faintly, fog hissing against it. A voice drifted from behind, faint, cracked. You said you would stand between us. The words sank into your bones. Your knees weakened. The reader's lantern flared, silver flame steady. Do not touch it. It is not yet for you. Your companion tugged your sleeve, pulling you down the stair. Their voice shook. Don't listen, not this one. The figure's voice was quiet, cold. Every door listens, even when you do not answer. The fog whispered again, softer. Stand, stand. The bell tolled. The handprint flared bright red, then dimmed. The stair wound deeper. The third landing came. This door was narrow, crooked, its hinges rusted, its frame bent. Its mark was a single word scratched deep into the wood. Wait. The word glowed pale in the silver light. Your companion froze, their breath catching. It's the same word as before. The reader lowered his lantern, bowing his head slightly. Someone climbed this stair before you. They left their mark so the silence would not consume them. The fog curled against the letters, whispering faint, patient. Wait, wait, the bell tolled. The word flared white, then dimmed. The stair wound deeper. The fourth landing came. This door was iron, black, streaked with rust. Its mark was nothing carved, nothing painted, only a hollow dent pressed inward as though by countless blows. You felt it before you heard it. A sound, dull, heavy, thud, thud, thud. From behind the iron, fists beat, slow, relentless. You said you would open. The voice was low, hoarse, breathless. It echoed in rhythm with the pounding. The ribbon at your wrist pulsed violently, burning so hot you staggered back. Your companion whimpered, clutching their arm. Don't stop here. The reader's voice sharpened, urgent. Keep walking. The figure's shadow leaned long across the steps. Their voice was calm. Every knock is a reminder, the bell tolled. The pounding stopped. The stair wound deeper. The fifth landing came. This door was not door at all, only stone, seamless, smooth. But etched across it in faint silver was the outline of a lantern. The reader's flame bent toward it, trembling. His face shadowed, eyes fixed on the mark. This one remembers light. Your ribbon pulsed. The knot throbbed steady. The fog curled higher, whispering, Bring, bring. The bell tolled. The lantern etched in stone glowed faint, flickered, then dimmed. The stair wound deeper, step after step, landing after landing, each door marked, each waiting, none opening. The fog pressed heavier with each turn. The whispers grew sharper, layered, endless. Wait, stand, bring, return. The bell tolled. The stair shook. The doors whispered back, and still none opened. The stair wound deeper. Your breath echoed against the wet stone, mingling with the drip of water from the ceiling. Each step bowed faintly underfoot, slick with moss, the fog pressing at your back, whispering in chorus with every toll of the bell above. You had passed so many doors, marked with circles, marked with handprints, marked with words and lanterns and blows. Each had stirred, each had pulsed, each had waited. None had opened until now. The bell tolled, not low, not patient. A thunderclap of bronze that shook the stair, rattled stone loose from the walls, made the fog scream as it surged forward. And the sixth landing appeared. The door before you was wood pale as bone, warped across its frame, streaked with black veins like roots. It had no handle, no lock, no hinge. Only a mark scratched deep across its surface, a jagged X carved again and again until the wood splintered. The fog pressed hard against your back, whispering as one. Open, 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 your ribbon seared. The knots flared white-hot, threads lashing outward across the stair, binding the walls, trembling as they pulled you closer. Your companion grabbed your arm, eyes wide, stone dead in their hand. Don't let it drag you. Please don't. The reader lifted his lantern, silver fire blazing tall. His voice thundered. This door is not yours, step back. The figure stood still, shadow sharp against the wall. Their voice was calm, steady. The tower has chosen. It does not ask permission. The bell tolled again. The mark on the door flared bright silver, splitting through the wood. Cracks spread like veins, black fog bleeding through. The stair trembled, the fog screamed, and the door burst open. The stair fell away behind you. The walls crumbled into black. The reader's lantern flickered dim. Your companion's voice broke into a cry. The figure's shadow stretched long across nothing, and you were pulled through. You stood in a room, circular, wide. Its floor stone cracked with fissures that glowed faint silver. Its walls bowed inward, streaked with water, dripping steadily into shallow pools. Fog hung heavy in the air, thicker than ever, pressing against your chest with every breath. At the center lay a table, not the one you had seen before. This one was clean, untouched, its surface pale, smooth, polished like bone. Upon it rested a single object, a bell, small, hand-sized, bronze dulled green. Its clapper hung still, its rope frayed short. The runes along its rim were faint, worn, almost unreadable. The fog whispered, "Ring." Your ribbon pulsed, the knots seared, and the bell on the table trembled. The chamber breathed around you. Water dripped steady from the bowed stone walls, each drop ringing faint against the fissures in the floor. Fog curled in thick ribbons across the ground, pressing heavy against your legs, your chest, your throat. The air smelled of rust and damp bone. At the center, the table waited. Its surface was pale, smooth, polished clean, as though untouched by hand or time. And upon it sat the bell, small, bronze dulled to green, its rope frayed short, its clapper still. The runes along its rim glowed faintly, trembling as if straining to wake. Your ribbon pulsed, the knots flaring bright. Threads crawled across your wrist, searing into your veins, dragging your eyes back to the bell no matter how you tried to look away. The fog whispered, "Ring." Your companions stumbled forward, clutching their cold, lifeless stone. Their voice cracked, frantic. "Don't touch it, don't even look at it. Every time you listen, it takes more. If you ring that bell," their words broke. The reader lifted his lantern. Silver flame bent toward the table, trembling though steady. His voice was low, heavy. "That bell is not like the one above. It does not test, it binds. Once rung, it will not release." The figure stood closer now, shadow long across the pale floor. Their voice was calm, sure. "And yet it must be rung. That is why it waits here. That is why the tower brought them down." The fog pressed tighter, whispering over and over in waves. "Ring, ring, ring." The knots seared white-hot, your chest hammering with each pulse. You staggered a step closer to the table. The bell stirred faintly, its rim vibrating with a hum too soft to hear, too heavy to ignore. The runes flared brighter, crawling across the bronze, twisting, shifting, reshaping into letters you could almost read. For an instant, you thought they spelled your name. Your companion cried out, seizing your arm. "Don't, please don't." The reader's lantern flared, silver flame bursting tall, pushing the fog back an arm's length. His eyes locked on you, sharp as steel. "If you ring it, speak only truth. Any word bound in that bell will never be forgot." The figure's voice cut through, steady. "Then it is simple. Do not lie. Carry what you must." The fog shrieked, swirling violent, crashing against the walls, the table, your chest. "Ring." The bell trembled harder, its rope twitching. Your ribbon seared, brighter, brighter, until light spilled from your veins in silver sparks. And your hand rose. Your hand hovered above the bell. The bronze trembled faintly, its rim quivering, runes burning brighter with each beat of your pulse. The rope twitched, its frayed strands swaying as though stirred by unseen breath. The clapper shifted once, slow, heavy, a soundless weight that promised thunder. The fog shrieked. It whipped around the chamber in violent spirals, crashing against the bowed stone walls, slamming into the table, clawing at your chest. Its whispers tore into your ears, layered and endless. "Ring, ring, ring." Your ribbon seared. The knots flared so hot the light spilled through your skin, silver threads crawling across your chest, your throat, your jaw, as if the tower itself was threading you into its weave. The bell hummed, a low vibration, too deep to hear, rattling the floor, the walls, your bones. The fissures in the stone glowed faint silver, light crawling outward from the table like veins of fire. Your companion clutched your arm, voice breaking. Stop. Please stop. You'll be bound forever if you do this. Their stone crumbled in their grip, brittle as ash, falling in pieces to the floor. The reader lifted his lantern, silver flame blazing tall, spilling light into the fog. His voice thundered sharp, commanding. Step back. This bell is no test. Once rung, it will keep every word you speak, every breath you give, until you are nothing but echo. The figure stepped closer, shadow long across the pale table. Their voice was low, calm, certain. It must be rung. The tower does not let one descend without a mark of binding. That is why the bell waits. The fog pressed harder, howling in unison. Ring, ring, ring. The rope twitched again. The clapper swayed. The sound of metal against metal whispered faint like a memory of thunder. The chamber shifted. The walls bowed inward. Cracks split the stone, glowing silver. Water spilled from the fissures, hissing into the fog. The floor heaved. The table groaned, dragging closer until the bell loomed before you. Your hand trembled above it. The runes along its rim blazed white. For the first time they held still, clear enough to read. Not names, not words, one command. Speak, the fog screamed. The watchers stirred somewhere far above, hollow voices carrying down the stair in perfect unison. Speak. Your ribbon blazed. The bell hummed louder, vibrating, alive. The rope snapped upward, strands flaring silver. Your hand lowered, fingertip brushing the cold bronze. The bell tolled, not loud, not thunder. A single soft chime, clear, pure. It rang through the chamber like breath drawn in the dark. The runes flared white. Your ribbon seared, light bursting across your chest until your body glowed faint silver. The fog hushed. The chamber held its breath, and the bell whispered back. What will you carry? The small bell waited. Its bronze skin glowed pale in the silver light, the runes along its rim burning steady for the first time. They held their shape now, clear, sharp, each stroke carved as if by flame. The word they formed was the same, repeated over and over. Carry, the rope hung limp, swaying faintly. The clapper stilled again. Yet the sound of its toll lingered in your chest, echoing with every heartbeat, every pulse of your burning ribbon. Your wrist seared. The knots flared white-hot, threads spreading further across your body. Silver veins crawled up your throat, across your jaw, into your skull until your vision blurred. The fog pressed close, whispering in waves. Answer, answer. Answer, but your mouth would not open, your throat closed, your chest locked. Breath shuddered but would not form words. Your companion clutched your arm, panic in their eyes. Say something, anything. If you don't, it'll, their voice broke. The reader lifted his lantern, flame blazing, light straining against the bell's glow. His voice thundered. They must speak or the bell will speak for them. The figure's shadow stretched long across the pale floor. Their voice was calm, low, certain. Then let it, the tower's choice is always truer than theirs. The bell hummed. The runes flared brighter, burning white, the rope twitched, and the bell tolled. The sound split the chamber, not soft, not pure, heavy, low, it shook the table. It rattled the walls. It drove the fog back into the fissures of stone. The runes shifted. Words crawled along the rim, blazing silver, binding themselves into shape. You will carry silence. The echo of it tore through your chest. Your ribbon blazed, searing into your veins. The knots cinched so tight your pulse faltered. Silver light bled from your mouth, spilling into the fog like smoke. Your companion cried out, reaching, tears streaking their face. Not silence. Anything but silence. The reader's lantern flared, silver fire roaring tall. His face twisted with effort, voice sharp. Hold, do not let it take everything. The figure stood still, shadow sharp. Their voice was quiet, unyielding. It is decided. The bell tolled again. Your body arched, mouth open, chest burning. Sound tore from you, not words, not cries, silence. A hollow absence louder than screams. It poured from your throat in white light, threads unraveling into the air. The watchers stirred above, hollow mouths opening wide. They drank it in, their eyes burning bright. The fog howled, the chamber shook. And when the bell stilled, silence settled over everything. Your ribbon dimmed. The knots glowed faint, no longer blazing. Your veins still shimmered with silver, but the fire had cooled. Your breath returned, shallow, empty. The bell whispered once more. Now you carry. The bell was still. Its bronze surface no longer trembled, but the runes along its rim glowed faint, breathing in and out like the chest of something alive. The table stood unmoved, pale and polished, waiting as though it had always been here, as though it would always remain. The silence it had bound into you filled the chamber. It pressed into your ears until even the drip of water from the walls vanished. It smothered your breath until the air in your lungs felt stolen. It wound tight around your heart until each beat landed without sound. Your ribbon pulsed faintly, knots dimming, threads spread through your veins like scars of light. They did not burn now. They only throbbed, heavy, steady, carrying silence through your blood. The fog had hushed. It curled low along the floor, pale tendrils weaving into the cracks, whispering too faint to hear. Your companions stumbled toward you. Their hands shook as they gripped your shoulders, eyes wide, mouth moving, but you heard nothing. No cry. No breath. No sound. Their lips shaped your name, but silence swallowed it. The stone they clutched was nothing now, only ash crumbling in their palm. It spilled across the pale floor like dust, vanishing into cracks. The reader stepped close, lantern raised. Silver flame burned steady, but even its hiss was gone. He spoke, his face grave, eyes fixed on you. No sound reached your ears, only silence. The figure remained still, their shadow long across the floor. Their head tilted slightly, eyes bright against the fog. They moved their lips slowly, deliberately, shaping words you could not hear, but their meaning carved itself into you. You are bound now, the bell tolled, not with sound, with weight. The runes pulsed bright, the rope snapped upward, the chamber shivered. The fog recoiled, drawn back against the walls, rising in a pale tide. The stair revealed itself again, winding downward. The reader's lantern swayed. Your companion clutched your arm, face pale, lips trembling with words you could not hear. The figure stepped first onto the stair. Their voice, though silent, struck inside your chest, heavy, certain. Descend. Your ribbon pulsed, searing faint. The silence held, and the stair waited. The stair turned downward. Stone slick with water, walls bowed and dripping. Moss clung to the edges, its green nearly black in the pale silver glow of the reader's lantern. Yet even the lantern made no sound. Its flame burned tall, bending faintly as the fog stirred, but it hissed in silence. The hush bound in your chest swallowed everything. Your companion's steps behind you were visible only as tremors in the moss. Their mouth opened once, twice, lips forming your name, but nothing reached you. They gripped your sleeve tightly, as if to prove to themselves that you still existed in this silence. The reader moved slow and careful, lantern steady. His lips shaped words to the figure ahead, but even those were lost. His face was carved with weight, shadow pooled beneath his eyes. The figure walked before you, sure and steady, their shadow long against the wet stone. They never turned back. The fog pressed against your back, your shoulders, your throat. Its whispers moved through you, not sound but sensation, like fingers against bone, like breath across the back of your skull. The words were clear even without sound. Descend, descend, descend. The first landing appeared. A door stood crooked, its frame bent, its surface cracked. Carved into its wood was a single word gouged deep, still. The word glowed faint in silver light. You felt it, not as sound, as weight. The ribbon at your wrist pulsed with the word, the knots thudding once, twice, in rhythm with the letters. Your chest clenched, your companion's eyes widened. Their lips moved quickly, urgently. You knew what they were saying, don't open it. The reader's flame bent toward the door, but he did not stop walking. The figure brushed the door with 2 fingers. Their eyes burned pale. Their lips shaped a single word, wait, and the stair turned downward again. The second landing came. This door was iron, streaked with rust. Its surface bowed inward as though struck from outside. Etched faintly across its face was a lantern, cracked through its center. Your ribbon pulsed harder, the knots burning white, light crawling through your veins. The fog pressed close, heavier, suffocating. Its whispers slid inside your chest, scraping your lungs. Light, light, light. You staggered closer. The air seared your throat. Your hand lifted. Your companion seized it, dragging you back. Their lips moved in a desperate cry, face pale, eyes wet. You saw the word in their mouth, please. The reader lifted his lantern higher, silver flame blazing. He shook his head once. The figure's shadow leaned long against the iron door. They looked at you, lips curving into words you felt more than read. Not yet, and the stair turned downward again. The third landing came. This door was stone, smooth, seamless. Its surface glowed faint pale, and across it crawled runes, not the runes of the bell, different, sharper, alive. They shifted as you looked, writhing across the stone like worms in the dark. Your ribbon seared. The silence in your chest deepened until it pressed like iron against your ribs. The fog coiled high, pressing around your throat, your eyes, your skull. The runes flared bright, and you felt the word without hearing it. Bind. Your body locked, your limbs stiffened, your breath froze, the stair shook. The reader thrust his lantern forward, silver flame bursting in defiance. The runes hissed, dimming faintly. Your companion pressed their forehead to your arm, tears streaking their face, lips trembling with words you could not hear. The figure touched the stone once, palm flat. The runes froze. Their lips moved slowly, shaping one word. Continue. The stair turned downward again. Fog thickened. The silence grew heavier. Every step dragged at your chest. Every breath pressed with weight. And then the bell tolled. Not sound, not thunder, not bronze. A throb deep in your chest, in your veins, in your ribbon. Your knees buckled. The stair blurred. The fog surged, and the silence broke. The bell tolled inside your chest. Not in the air, not in the chamber. Inside you. Each throb pressed against your ribs, shook through your veins, rattled the silver threads burned into your body. The silence that had weighed so heavy fractured with every toll, breaking in hairline cracks, letting whispers bleed through like water seeping under a locked door. At first, the whispers were faint. You left, you promised, forgotten, but they were wrong, bent. Words twisted at the edges, syllables warped as if spoken underwater. UL Ost, UPR Rice, FR gotten NN. Your ribbon pulsed violently, the knots searing, threads blazing along your chest. Each pulse snapped another crack in the silence, each break letting the whispers in sharper, harsher. The stair shook beneath your feet. Your companion clung to your arm. Their lips moved, desperate, but their words came broken too. Fragments warped like the whispers. "Don't go deeper, please," tears streaked their face. Their stone was dust now, nothing but fragments falling from their palms, slipping into the cracks of the stair. The reader held his lantern high. The flame was bright, steady, silver, but its hiss came to your ears broken, distorted, shrieking in bursts like tearing cloth. His voice, when he spoke, thundered in pieces, words fractured by the half-silence. "Ot open do rs." Yet the figure walked ahead, their shadow steady, but their voice carried clearest of all. It cut through the distortion, low and certain. The silence breaks when it can no longer bear its own weight. Let it fracture. Let it bleed. The fog swirled thick, pressing against your throat, your eyes curling around your skull. Its whispers layered over the broken voices, warped but insistent. Across, carry, return, the next landing came. This door was wood, its surface swollen and black with mold. Across its face was scratched a single symbol, a circle with 3 lines breaking outward. The runes glowed faint. The silence cracked harder. Voices spilled through in fractured screams. "Stay with us. Yours to carry," the door shuddered. Your ribbon seared, burning white-hot. The knots pulsed so bright they blinded you. Threads lashed outward, weaving into the cracks of the stair, into the seams of the door. The stair trembled. The bell tolled inside your chest. The silence shattered further, but not completely. Now every voice came broken, half sound, half absence, like hearing a scream in a dream, muffled, distant, and yet sharper than waking. Your companion sobbed, pulling your sleeve, their mouth shaping words you could not fully hear. The reader thrust his lantern forward, silver fire blazing, runes on the door hissing back. His mouth opened wide, shouting something you could only half hear. "Do not answer." The figure placed their palm against the door. Their shadow leaned long. Their lips curved into words that carved into you like weight. "Answer anyway." The fog screamed. The door pulsed, and the stair groaned beneath your feet. The stair shook. The door's swollen wood bulged outward, its mark, the circle with 3 broken lines glowing brighter, trembling like a wound that could no longer close. The fog pressed tight around you, hissing in warped fragments, its whispers stuttering, broken. "Open, carry, return," your ribbon seared. The knots pulsed so hot the threads crawled up your neck, across your jaw, into your skull, blinding your vision with silver light. The bell tolled inside your chest. The silence cracked apart, and the door burst open. Fog roared through the stair, blasting down in a tide that struck you to your knees. It surged around your face, your chest, your arms, pressing until it felt like stone. The air stank of mold and iron. Beyond the broken frame was not a room. It was a void filled with voices. They poured out in fractured streams, each one bent, warped, shattered into pieces that clawed through your ears and burrowed into your bones. UF organ, uprom ec, uyllkrry. The sound was unbearable, and yet not sound at all, more absence than noise, more weight than words. Your companion clutched your sleeve, their mouth wide in a scream you could not hear. Tears streaked their face, their stone dust now, ground to ash that slipped from their hand. The reader thrust his lantern forward, silver flame blazing tall, bending against the torrent. His lips moved in command, his eyes fixed sharp on you, but his voice came fractured, half swallowed by the broken hush. Don OTSD ep close The figure stood still, shadows stretched into the storm. Their lips curved slow, certain. Closer, the fog screamed. Your ribbon burned white-hot and your body moved. You staggered through the door. The stair vanished. The reader's light dimmed to nothing. Your companion's hand slipped from your sleeve. The figure's shadow dissolved. You fell into the voices. Black surrounded you, black and silver and fog. Ribbons writhed through the void, pulsing, glowing, nodding. The broken words layered louder and louder until they drowned your thoughts. ULF, UF Orgit, UProm ESIG, UYLLKRRY. Faces swirled in the dark. Pale, hollow-eyed, their mouths opening and closing in silence, in absence, in fragments. Their jaws split wide, spilling ribbons that coiled through the void, wrapping your arms, your chest, your throat. The bell tolled again. The sound cracked the void open. Light poured through the fracture, silver, blinding, threads crawling across the dark. You were lifted, suspended, your body wrapped in hundreds of ribbons that burned and seared and bound. The faces screamed. The fog shrieked. The runes along the broken door blazed white. And the void itself whispered, warped and broken into your bones. Now you carry all of us. The bell tolled, and the stair returned beneath your feet. You collapsed against wet stone, gasping, chest heaving. Your ribbon glowed white, threads blazing along your veins until your skin shone. The knots pulsed heavy, louder than your heartbeat. Your companion fell beside you, clutching your arm, their mouth shaping words you could not hear. The reader lowered his lantern, silver flame dim but steady. His eyes were grim, hollow. The figure's shadow leaned long across the stair. Their lips shaped slow words that carved into your chest like a blade. The tower is almost ready, the fog whispered. The bell tolled once more, and the stair turned downward. The stair turned downward. Your breath rasped against the silence that still clung half-broken to your chest. The ribbon at your wrist glowed like molten wire, knots pulsing so hot your veins shimmered through your skin. Each step pressed the weight deeper, every toll of the bell inside you dragging another thread tighter. The fog curled low along the stones, thick as wool, muffling the curve of the stair ahead. It whispered fragments of bent, shattered syllables crawling into your ears. Carry, sta wai, nev go, the stair groaned, slick with water, alive beneath your weight. Your companion clung to your sleeve, face pale, eyes hollow with exhaustion. Their lips moved urgent, desperate, but the half-silence twisted their words, breaking them into shards. Can't more, stop. The reader's lantern flared behind, silver flame steady, fighting the fog. His lips shaped commands, sharp and sure, but even those fractured. Keep heed. While King, the figure walked ahead, unshaken, their shadow cutting through the mist. Their words carved themselves directly into your chest, clear despite the broken hush. The end waits below. The seventh landing came, a door of glass, thin, shimmering, cracked into 1,000 lines but never shattered. Behind it moved shadows, shapes half seen, bending and warping like smoke. Your ribbon pulsed, threads crawling across your throat, your jaw burning silver light into your teeth. The glass door whispered faint, not with words, with breaths. A soundless panting that filled the air with absence. Your chest locked, your lungs froze. Your companion clutched you, shaking your arm. Their mouth opened wide, their cry a silent plea. The reader thrust his lantern toward the glass, flame bending. The cracks glowed, fissures flaring white. The door trembled, then stilled. The figure's shadow lingered against it. Their lips shaped words without sound. It sees you, and the stair turned downward. The eighth landing came, a door of ash. Its wood charred, black, brittle, flaking with every drip of water from above. Etched deep into its surface were two words: never return. The runes glowed pale. Your ribbon seared so hot you staggered, knees buckling, breath caught in your throat. The fog pressed hard against your back, screaming fragments in warped chorus. Ray turn, Ray turn, Ray turn, the ash door cracked. Dust fell. Fire glowed faint inside the fissures. The bell tolled in your chest. The fire hissed dim. The cracks closed. The reader pulled you away, lantern blazing. The figure touched the words once, fingers blackened with soot. Their lips shaped one command: remember, and the stair turned downward. The ninth landing came. No door, only a wall of stone, seamless, smooth, wet with condensation. But etched faint across its face was a bell, small, crooked. The runes around its rim pulsed. Your ribbon flared, burning white, threads searing into your skull. The silence cracked further, whispers flooding and warped and endless. Ring, bind, ka-r-r-y, the wall hummed. Your chest hammered with it. And for a moment you thought the wall itself would toll, but the stair groaned, the fog surged, and you were dragged downward again. The air grew heavier. The stone bowed inward, wet with black moss. The whispers thickened, breaking, bending, filling your skull until you no longer knew which voice was yours. The bell tolled, the stair shook, and at last the final landing came. A door stood there, bronze, tarnished green. Its rim carved with runes that crawled alive. Its rope hung short, frayed, still wet with black water. The clapper swayed faintly, though no hand touched it. The fog shrieked. Your ribbon burned so bright your body glowed. The watchers' hollow voices carried down the stair from above, 1,000 mouths chanting one word: descend. The figure stepped forward, shadow long. Their lips shaped words you felt in your chest, heavy and final. This is where the bell was born. The rope twitched. The bronze hummed, and the door trembled. The bronze door trembled. Its surface was green with tarnish, streaked with black water, runes writhing faint as though alive. The rope twitched at its side, frayed strands wet and heavy, swaying without wind. The clapper inside groaned once, low, too faint to be sound, more vibration than noise. Your ribbon seared. The knots blazed white, threads spreading across your chest until your body glowed. The silence inside you cracked further, warped whispers bleeding through in bent syllables that clawed into your bones. Ry-ng, bo-rn, ka-r-r-y, the fog surged against your back, hissing in 1,000 broken voices. Open, open, open. Your companion lunged forward, clutching your arm. Their lips trembled with words, mouth open in a cry you could not hear. But even without sound, you felt it carved into your chest as if the bell itself had carried it to you. Don't go in. The stone they once held was gone, crumbled ash smeared across their palm. Their hands shook as they gripped you tighter, their face pale, hollow with fear. The reader stepped close, lantern raised high. The silver flame bent against the bronze, flaring, resisting, but its hiss was swallowed. His lips shaped words sharp, urgent, his eyes fixed on you. It binds everything. If you enter, nothing you carry will ever be set down. The figure stood before the door, their shadow stretched long, etched across the tarnished bronze. Their eyes glowed faint, pale, unblinking. Their lips curved slow, steady search. It is the only way. This is where all silence is born. This is where all vows are kept. The rope twitched again. The runes flared bright, crawling, shifting, reshaping into letters you almost understood. For a moment you thought they spelled your name. The bell inside the door groaned louder, rattling the stone, shaking water loose from the ceiling. Drops hissed against your ribbon, steam rising silver into the fog. The stair shuddered. The fog shrieked. Your ribbon pulsed violently, pulling you forward. Your companion's grip broke. Their lips shaped one last word, desperate, carved into your chest by absence itself. Please. The reader's lantern flared, silver fire blazing. He thrust it forward, shouting words you felt more than heard. Step back. This is not your burden alone. The figure laid their hand flat upon the bronze. Their shadow spread wide across the runes. Their lips moved once. Open, the bell tolled inside the door. The sound was thunder, bronze splitting, stone shaking. The fog roared, surging forward, striking you in the chest, driving the breath from your lungs. Your ribbon seared until your vision blurred white. The runes blazed, the rope snapped, the bronze cracked wide, and the door burst open. Light spilled through, not gold, not silver, white, blinding. It poured across the stair, flooding the fog, burning into your chest. The watchers' voices rose from above, hollow mouths chanting as one. Born, born, born. The bell tolled again, and you were dragged inside. Light swallowed you, not silver, not gold, white, endless. It poured through the cracks of the bronze door, flooding the stair, burning into your chest until your ribbon flared brighter than fire. The knots pulsed so hot your veins hissed, steam rising from your skin. The stair was gone. The walls dissolved. The fog itself thinned, curling back as if afraid. Only light, blinding, boundless. The silence inside you cracked apart. Whispers bled through, warped, bent, but sharper now, clearer than before. Bo RN, Rai NG. A L waves, the bell tolled. Not above, not below, everywhere. The light shuddered with it, rippling like water struck by stone. Threads of silver ran through the white, veins glowing, trembling, forming patterns that bent, broke, and vanished before you could name them. You staggered forward, blind, weightless. Your ribbon pulled tight, threads dragging you deeper into the light. Shapes began to form. At first only echoes, pillars tall as towers, runes crawling across them, writhing faint. Stone slick with water dripping into fissures that glowed pale. Then shadows. Figures half seen, seated in rows, their mouths open, their eyes burning faint white. Their voices whispered in layers, weaving into the light. Ev Uri Val, Ev Uri Word, Ev Uri Bria TH. Your companion stumbled at your side, gripping your arm. Their mouth moved in silent panic. Their eyes were wide, wet pleading. The reader's lantern flared, silver flame bending weak in the flood of white. His lips shaped words, sharp, steady, but the sound was lost. The weight of silence pressed between you. The figure walked ahead, unshaken. Their shadow was swallowed but never vanished. Their lips moved once, slow, sir. This is where the bell began. The light shifted. It thinned, bent, pulling itself into walls. The void of white coiled inward until a chamber formed, vast, circular, endless. Its stone was pale as bone, its cracks glowing silver. Water dripped steady from the ceiling, each drop hissing as it struck the fissures. At the chamber's center stood the bell, not small, not handheld, vast, larger than the tower above. Its bronze was pale, almost white, its rim carved with runes that shifted endlessly. The rope was thick, black, frayed, coiled around its base like a serpent. The clapper swayed faint, though no wind stirred. The watchers lined the walls. Hundreds, thousands, hollow-eyed, their mouths open, whispering in chorus. Bo RN, Bo RN, Bo RN, your ribbon seared, blazing white. The knots pulsed heavy, hammering in rhythm with the clapper's sway. The fog curled back in tides, bowing low, whispering louder than the watchers. Ring, the bell tolled, and the birthplace shuddered. The chamber breathed. Its walls were pale as bone, fissures glowing silver, water dripping steady from above. Each drop hissed when it struck the cracks, steam curling into the fog. The air smelled of rust and stone and something deeper like silence ground into dust. The watchers lined the circumference. Hundreds, thousands. Their hollow eyes burned faint white, their mouths open in endless whisper. They did not move. They did not blink. Their voices blended into one chorus, woven so tightly it became a single word stretched thin. Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren. Their heads tilted as you passed, following but never rising from their seats. Their skin was pale, stretched thin, their hands folded neatly in their laps. Each one wore a ribbon, gray and frayed, glowing faint as though still alive. Your ribbon pulsed with theirs, knots burning, threads in your veins glowing brighter with each whisper. At the chamber's center stood the great bell. Its bronze was pale, almost white, its surface pitted with age. The runes carved deep along its rim writhed in constant motion, twisting, reshaping, never holding still long enough for your eyes to name them. They crawled across the bronze like insects made of light, burning and fading, burning and fading. The rope coiled around its base, thick as a tree trunk, black and wet, frayed to threads at its end. The clapper swayed faint, though no hand moved it, no air stirred. Each sway rattled through the chamber, a vibration felt more than heard. Your chest ached with it. The silence bound inside you cracked further, fractured into shards. Whispers bled through in warped syllables, bending into words. Ka-R-R-Y, ni ver ctd on al ways bo aren. Your companion clung to your sleeve, trembling. Their mouth moved in a cry you could not hear, lips shaping words sharp and broken. Don't go closer. Tears streaked their face, their hands shaking. The ash of their shattered stone smeared across their skin. The reader raised his lantern high. The silver flame bent against the bell's glow, flickering, shrinking, struggling to stand. His lips shaped words heavy and sharp, eyes fixed on the runes. It will bind everything. Step back. The figure moved steadily forward, shadows stretching long across the pale floor. Their voice cut through the silence, clear inside your chest. This is the first bell, every vow, every silence, every broken word. It waits for them. The fog pressed tighter, wrapping your chest, your throat, your legs. Its whispers rose in layers. Ring, ring, ring. You staggered a step closer. The watchers stirred, shifting faint, their hollow eyes burning brighter. Their mouths opened wider. Their chorus rose louder, shaking the chamber. Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren. The runes along the rim flared bright as fire. They reshaped, bent, locked, held. For the first time, you could read them. One word, speak. The rope twitched, the clapper swayed, and the bell hummed deep and low, shaking the stone, rattling your bones, filling your chest until you could not breathe. The great bell hummed. Its bronze surface quivered, pale as bone, runes crawling bright across its rim. The rope twitched, frayed strands whispering against the stone. The clapper swayed heavier now, each motion a vibration that pressed into your chest, rattled your teeth, shook your ribbon until the knots seared. The chamber trembled with it. Fissures split wider across the floor, glowing silver. Water dripped from the ceiling in streams instead of drops, hissing as it struck the cracks, steam rising thick into the fog. The watchers stirred. Every head tilted upward, every hollow eye blazed white. Their mouths opened wider, their chorus louder. Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren, Bo-Aren. The fog pressed against your throat, your chest, your eyes, whispering in waves. Speak, speak, speak. Your ribbon burned white hot. The knots pulsed so hard your body shook. Silver light crawled across your veins, threads searing into your skull until your vision blurred. Your companion clutched your arm, dragging at your sleeve. Their mouth opened wide in a scream you could not hear. Their tears streaked ash down their face. Their words cut through silence anyway, written into your bones. Don't answer it. The reader lifted his lantern, flame blazing silver, spilling across the fog. His lips moved sharp, his eyes fixed on you. If you speak, it will keep your words forever. You will never set them down. The figure stood before the bell, their shadow long across the floor. Their lips curved into a slow shape you felt in your chest like a second heartbeat. Then speak only what cannot be lost. The rope twitched again. The clapper swayed. The bell hummed louder. The chamber cracked. Stone split wide, walls bowing inward. Runes crawled across the ceiling, glowing white, fissures streaking outward like veins. The watchers rose from their seats, hundreds, thousands, standing as one. Their hollow eyes blazed brighter. Their chorus shook the chamber. Bo Aren, Bo Aren, Bo Aren, the fog screamed. Your ribbon seared until silver burst from your mouth, spilling into the air like smoke. Your chest hammered, your throat locked. The bell tolled, not soft, not thunder, a roar. It rattled every bone in your body, cracked the fissures wider, shook the watchers until chairs splintered. The runes along its rim blazed white. They reshaped into a single command, speak. The rope snapped upward. The clapper swung. The bell's roar filled you. Your knees buckled. The fog pressed you forward, slamming you against the pale bronze. Your mouth opened, and the silence cracked open at last. Your mouth opened. The bronze pressed cold against your chest, the bell's surface trembling with its own heartbeat. The runes crawled bright along its rim, burning white, reshaping again and again into the same single command. Speak. The rope snapped against stone. The clapper swung, but no sound left you. Only weight, only silence. It filled your throat, pressed against your tongue, bent your teeth. The ribbon at your wrist seared until every vein burned silver. Threads spilled from your skin, glowing, unraveling into the air like smoke. The bell hummed louder, the chamber shook, and the silence in you collided with words you could not form. The watchers stepped forward, hundreds, thousands. Their chairs scraped stone, splintering, collapsing beneath them. Their hollow eyes burned white. Their mouths opened wider, their chorus swelling until it rattled the walls, fractured the fissures, split the runes above. Speak, speak, speak. The fog surged around your body, wrapping your chest, your throat, pressing into your mouth. It hissed in 1,000 voices, warped and endless. Give it, give it. Give it. Your companion clung to your sleeve, dragging, their mouth open in a scream you could not hear. Their eyes streamed, their face pale, ash smeared down their skin. The reader thrust his lantern high, flame blazing, fighting the flood of white light. His lips shaped sharp words, his eyes locked on you. Do not give it everything. The figure stood calm, steady, their shadow reaching long across the floor. Their lips curved into a command you felt in your chest, as certain as the bells tolled. Speak, your chest locked, your ribs shuddered, the silence inside you cracked, and a single word tore itself free. Not chosen, not decided, given. Why? The bell roared. Bronze split with the force, fissures blazing white. The runes flared, reshaping, binding the word into their endless script. The watchers screamed in unison, hollow mouths wide. Their voices shook the chamber, fractured stone, tore cracks into the floor. WHY, WHY, why? The fog shrieked, whirling violent, dragging your body into the bell's glow. Your ribbon seared until you glowed white, every thread burning into your veins. The rope snapped again. The clapper swung. The bell tolled. And your word was carried into it, bound forever. The chamber stilled. The fog fell silent. The watchers lowered their heads, and the great bell whispered back, "Now you carry why." The bell was still. Its bronze rim glowed faint white where your word had entered, the runes reshaping around it, binding it in their endless crawl. They locked into a pattern you could almost read, then slipped away again, writhing into shapes your eyes could not hold. Your ribbon seared less now. The knots dimmed, threads cooling in your veins, but the weight of why filled you, heavy, lodged deep in your chest, a stone you could not cough out. The chamber held its breath. Then the watchers stirred, hundreds, thousands. Their hollow eyes flared bright, their mouths gaped wider, and their voices rose. WHY, WHY, why? They did not chant it as you had spoken it. They tore it, stretched it, bent it. YEWHE, YHH, the sound fractured, warped until it pressed against your skull like knives of glass. The air vibrated with it, the stone groaned beneath it. The fissures in the floor split wider, glowing silver. Your chest hammered. Your companion pressed against you, clutching your sleeve. Their mouth-shaped words you could not hear, their eyes wide with terror. But you saw it written in their lips, carved in the ash on their face. "It's breaking you." The reader raised his lantern, silver flame blazing tall. He thrust it toward the bell, light spilling across the fog. His lips shaped words heavy, sharp but fractured, broken by the echo. "Hold to your word, make it yours." The figure stood calm, unmoved. Their shadow leaned against the bell's pale bronze. Their lips curved into words you felt inside your ribs, echoing the watchers, binding you tighter. "Why is enough?" The fog screamed. It spun violent, twisting into pale columns that reached the ceiling. It shrieked your word over and over, each one bent into new shapes. "Why did you leave her? Why didn't you return? Why do you carry us? Why can't you set us down?" Your ribbon pulsed harder, burning white, forcing your knees against the stone. You gasped, chest shuddering, as silver threads crawled from your skin into the cracks of the floor. The fissures glowed brighter, the chamber shaking with it. The bell tolled again. The sound roared, rattling stone, shaking the watchers until their chairs shattered. And the great bell whispered, voice deeper than stone, louder than silence, heavy as fog. "Now they will all ask why." The watchers screamed. They rushed forward as one, hundreds, thousands, their hollow mouths open, their eyes burning white. Their hands stretched wide, reaching, clawing, demanding. WHY, WHY, why? The fog surged, slamming into your chest, your throat, your skull. Your ribbon seared so hot your body glowed white. The clapper swung. The bell tolled. And the stair opened beneath your feet. You fell back into stone. Wet steps, dripping walls, the spiral winding downward still. Your ribbon pulsed, dim now but heavy. The word lodged in your chest. Why? The stair waited. And the bell tolled once more, echoing in your veins. The stair was damp beneath your hands. Water slid down the bowed walls, dripping into the cracks of stone. The spiral wound downward still, endless, but for a moment the fog held you in place. Your ribbon pulsed faint, threads dim now, no longer blazing but heavy. The word bound into it pressed inside your chest, immovable. Why? Every breath dragged it with you, every heartbeat carried it deeper. Your companion knelt close, hands trembling as they gripped your arm. Their mouth moved in broken shapes, lips pale, words cracked by the silence that clung to you. Why did you let it? Tears streaked their face, cutting lines through the ash smeared on their skin. Their eyes burned with something sharper than fear. Not terror of the bell, terror of you. The stone they once clutched was gone, crushed into dust, scattered across their palms. They pressed it into you anyway, as though it might still hold weight. Their lips moved again,